Many people have asked, what is the difference between archangels and dragons? Because you say they both work with the elemental powers. So, are they the same? Are they different? And how does it work? Well, they are not the same, that's obvious. But how does it work is a very good question. And it's actually a little bit the closure of the series of angel meditations. It's important to understand the differences because as soon as you understand the difference, you can more optimally use the gifts that the angels, the archangels, and the dragons actually offer us. If we do not understand the gifts, then we can't, let's say, benefit from what they offer us. So we go back first to an image that you have seen. So the 12 plus 2 archangels in the Earth system, work with those 12, a different frequency range, yes, but with the 12 that are at the beginning of creation. And one of the words that I have used regularly in the meditations is that we connect with the consciousness aspect. The archangels help us to understand from a consciousness point of view what the different elemental powers are and the knowledge, the knowing, the connection with them that helps us to then use them. But the archangels are connected to the consciousness aspect. So while there is confusion about what archangels and angels do, that confusion is strengthened by the images that we give to archangels. And there are all kinds of sometimes quite beautiful images, but yes, typical reflection of people's ideas. Angels are not visible, and yes, we would like them to be visible. And if we see something of that, we see mostly light. So the forms are all imagination, and as a consequence, we see them as something physical that you can ask a practical physical thing to do for us. And that's not who they are, it's not their job, it's not what they are here to do for us. They are helping us to connect with the consciousness aspects of creation, to connect with it, to make sure that you, through your consciousness, are connecting with the right vibrations for you before you start acting. And that is what angels do. So let's now look at the oneness dragons. And yes, I'm not going into details of the dragons, and if you're really interested, I would recommend my book on dragons because that goes through the many different groups and their roles and their functions. But the oneness dragons, as we call them, are actually having a setup that is so similar to what you just saw for the archangels. So they're also 12. And yes, there are also 4 groups of 3, the trinities. And yes, they have a north and a south pole being. I call them white and black because that is the images that we got during a workshop, and those words stuck to us and we still use them. But white is like, again, the potential. And black is that what is realized, very comparable to Metatron and Melchizedek. So there is quite a similarity that can lead to the confusion. But the big difference is they are not so much about consciousness, they are about application. Functioning with the knowledge that you get out of that conscious connection, that you then give a form, a practical form. That is how you create. So the dragons are your practical daily supporters. Your angels are the ones that from a spiritual perspective are supporting you. So the dragons belong to that what we call the more manifested world. And yes, we still don't see them because their vibration is still out of range of our physical system. But there are an increasing number of people that get some images about the dragons. And as again, we see how human fantasy can run away with it. I love this image. But basically, dragons are, not what you call cuddly beings. Yes, increasingly we see now also sweet dragons, as I call them, that are they're often, of course, with beautiful women, giving that flavor that, but they are maybe not as bad as you think. It's not about good, bad. They are simply powerful allies that help you to function in your daily life if you are willing to open yourself for their gifts. So, what does that mean? It means that those two are supporting each other. In a sense, we need both. We need the angels for the consciousness aspects. We need the dragons for the practical aspects. And you can say to work with that what consciousness gives us. So yes, they are supporting each other. And in a sense, as I mentioned earlier in earlier meditations, every being has a resonance with one of the four major archangels. And that is true for the dragons as well. They are a little bit closer to them in some ways because they're more directly working with the elemental powers. But there are more beings that do that, and that is not for this series. So what I would like to do is a short guided meditation to help you to connect with both. Not details. If you want details of dragons, then you go to the book if you choose to. If you want more details about the archangels, the meditations give you quite a bit of possibility to make connections with them. But this meditation is simply to connect with the overall feeling of the dragons and the overall feeling of the archangels and how they interact with each other. And then you can build on that to the degree that feels in alignment for your development, for your, let's say, personal way of living. So, as always, in order to make a proper connection and to connect with that what I invite you to experience, we first prepare. And we prepare by relaxation first through our intention. Our intention is to relax as deeply as we can, preferably deeper than ever before. And in that state of relaxation, you also take some deeper inhalations and exhalations to support that relaxation process even deeper through the vagus nerve. And as always, observe and feel what is happening, increasing your awareness of the effects of connecting. So feel that process. Feel how your system relaxes. And feel how that makes your mind relaxing. And that always leads to the willingness of your mind to let go of control and give space to your heart that will immediately guide you in a deeper connection with your spiritual essence. And it is that spiritual essence through which you connect basically with more directly with the archangels. And in order to understand this process that takes place on Earth, it's important that we connect with Mother Earth because everything that we do based on our understanding is affecting her. So always connect with Mother Earth, allowing to deepen that connection. Deepen that connection through your willingness to connect, sending her love and light, sending her gratitude, and her response is stimulating that process of realizing that you're one with her. Everything we do is basically falling within the, you can say, conscious construct of Mother Earth. So also the archangels that we connect with, we do that at a level that is in alignment with functioning within the Earth system. So you can use the image if you choose, but you have seen the image of the sphere and see yourself sitting in the center of the sphere. Some of you may have done the meditation that I call the integration meditation, and then you imagine yourself sitting in the sphere. And when you sit in the center of the sphere, you're connected with all 14 archangels. The ones that are the 12 in the plane, in the central plane, and the one at the north and in the south pole. And when you're sitting in the center, you are supported by your personal angel. You can say that your personal angel in this sphere is the 15th angel. And set your intention to open yourself for the energy. So call in all the angels to support you to get the most optimal experience of what it means to be a human being in this world that is a co-creator. And ask them to bring you the consciousness aspects that you need to fulfill that role. And shift now your awareness to the dragon sphere. And also in the dragon sphere you have 14 dragons, the 12 in the central plane, the one above and the one below, north and south pole, and the one that supports you in the center. You can call that your personal dragon. While you sit, call in all the dragons to support you to feel how to use in a practical way the gifts of the archangels so that you can become a functional and conscious co-creator. And feel again the energies building up. And maybe you can feel the difference of the two energy fields. The difference of sitting in the angel sphere or the dragon sphere. And maybe you cannot feel the differences. Because it takes time to allow your system to really become aware of the power of those two fields, those two energies. And the more you work with them, the more you can, not only in theory, but also practically, are a true co-creator supporting Mother Earth on her evolutionary journey. Know that as soon as you have made contact with either one or both at the same time, you can sit in the energies for as long as you choose to. And I invite you to play with these energies so that you get a very good, powerful feeling that will support you on your journey.